All right, I generally get this question asked by quite a number of people. How do you know if a job, that is a job offer that you receive from Middle East or abroad, is it real or fake? And I thought this would be a great topic to speak about, especially for 2022, that is the next year. I have, because I have been in this industry for a couple of years now, it's very easy for me to spot. Most of the time I'm right. So I'll give you 5 points as to how you can spot if a job offer is fake or real. Okay? So these are pretty definite, but like I say that use your discretion in the end. So the first point, how you know if a job offer is fake or not, is the job offer in itself is too good to be true. Now what do I mean by this? One is the salary is amazing, the offer letter is attractive, and in some cases it's almost like you're getting double the salary, and then you'll be like, oh wow, finally I've got the opportunity of a lifetime. I always tell people, when something is too good to be true, something is like, wow, a dream come true, it's normally the case. Like one guy, he got in touch with me and he asked me, is this job fake or real? And he put so many questions. I was like, the number of questions that he has asked is more like, it's like booking a session, and he wanted all these answers for free. I just kept quiet, and then the main crux of the whole thing was, is this job fake or real? Now there were a couple of red flags. One is he got double the salary. Second one is, here's the thing, when you just applied and you immediately get a response, you should be like, there's something funny here. Like, let's say for example, I'm very ugly, there's no girl who likes me, and all of a sudden this girl pops up from somewhere and she's very beautiful. Hey, you're nice, and she's very nice to me. You think like, wait a minute, something's fishy. So anyway, I knew that this job was fake, but he wanted a free service, and I was not going to give him for free all these things. I didn't bother to respond. And then to let me know that he was doing better off without my advice, there are some people who have this ego. It's like, just to let you know, he sent me another email, FYI, I've already accepted this job and I'm on my way abroad. I was like, all the best. I didn't respond, but I was like, okay, good. He'll eventually burn his fingers. So first one is, it's too good to be true. It's always, the offer is like amazing, position is like amazing. In fact, you need to ask yourself why you're not getting locally that someone internationally has to search for you. Or another thing you need to ask yourself is why they can't find local talent. What you have is so rare that nobody can fill in that slot. Okay, the second one. This one is easily, you can spot it. Everything is online. The job offer, you apply online. They respond to you online. The interview process is online. The signing of the document is online, or they'll mail it. Everything is online. The confirmation is online. And then come, start working. That is one of the biggest red flags. If everything is online, without a doubt, it is fake. Don't fall for... keep in mind, when this is something that you may not know. Abroad, when they want to process someone's papers, they have to literally spend around 10,000 dirhams for medicals, for visa process, for everything. And if they end up with somebody who is not a right fit for the organization, this money is gone. So why would they take a risk and gamble 10,000 bucks on someone they have never met? As it is, you are lying on your resume. You're bluffing, you're portraying yourself. Okay, if not bluffing or if not lying, you portray yourself as God's gift to mankind. You always hype yourself. Everyone does this on their CV. They like to show that they are too good to be true. Nobody tells the truth that you're average. Nobody says that I'm average, I like to waste time, I'm lazy. No, they'll always put hardworking, achieve the targets and this and that, and they brag like crazy. You check anybody's CV, everyone's perfect. But then why people have average performances? So in the same way, for them to confirm without having physically seen you is a red flag. So everything is online. So if all your discussion, everything is online, well, it is. Now, obviously, you'll tell me, what about COVID? And so many cases, they did not want to meet us due to COVID. Fine, that was a black swan event. But in majority of the cases, they would want you to physically show yourself. See, just because there was a lockdown, does that mean people are not going out? I mean, how do you operate day-to-day businesses? Everything cannot be done via Zoom. You think doctors are operating via Zoom? You think electricians are doing it via virtual? Come on, man. It's a little bit of common sense. Okay, the third one. This one I always tell people, prod this. You have not physically seen the office. It should be the office where you are about to start working. Have you seen the office? Let's say, for example, I'll give you a company name. Say in Dubai, there is a company very famous, Al Futtaim. Now, there is a tendency for people to get fake letters of Al Futtaim. So then I asked them, did you go and see the office? They say no. Did you physically get the interview taken in the office or in the conference room or training room? Or they say no. You have not seen anything. You have not seen even the individual. Everything is virtual or email. It's wrong. You must physically go and see the place. So now obviously you'll say, oh, but I'm staying in India. The company is in Dubai. How can I physically go and see the place? Yeah, that is a major issue. That is where I tell people, when they can get talent who can come to the office and they can physically see and ask you to work 1 week, 2 weeks and find out if you're a perfect fit or not, that is much more convenient than having someone come all the way from India, all the way to a new country, work there, and if they find you not to be a proper fit, what do you do? So you must physically go. Now, okay, I understand the fact that you are in India. Let's say the person's in Dubai, that company. Then what is required is there should be somebody who you know or somebody, your relative or friend, who can physically go there. Okay, and if that also is not there, then just ask yourself, you're going to go to a new country, to a new company, to a new person. I mean, what if the whole thing is not exactly what they show? You have to think about all this. You know, that is where when I get a guy or girl telling me, I'm in love with this guy, I'm in love with this girl. Have you met her? No. Have you seen her? No. Have you been to a place? No. Have you been to that country? No. But I'm ready to give up everything and go there. People laugh at this. Then same thing with the work, right? Otherwise, just take a trip and go there and find out. Do your own due diligence. It's up to you how important your career and life is. Number 4. I think this one is a little bit of introspection. You remember I told you that, let's say you're a sales guy. You're based in India. And they are offering you a sales job. Now here's the question you need to ask yourself. Why me? Is it like they can't find any salesperson in Dubai? A person who is in Dubai, who has experience of Dubai, who knows the streets, who knows the people, who has the contacts, the connections, they can't find a single person that they had to search for someone all the way in India. Or let's say, for example, you're an engineer. Why they can't find any other engineer? In fact, one of the big reasons why people from India or wherever, they apply for a job there is for a higher salary. So now you're getting double. Now ask yourself, if they were to advertise in India itself, and you can get for half the salary, don't you think instead of paying double, you can just pay 10 or 20% more and get someone and give them these promises? After 1 year, we'll increase your salary to double. India's population is 1 billion. You think they can't find a single person? What is so special about you? You need to ask yourself, you need to be very realistic. Why me? And that also for a company. Yeah, just to let you know, in case you do not know, a minimum large company gets CVs is in the range of 2,000 to 4,000 CVs. Sometimes when they advertise per day, 2 to 4,000 multinational companies, okay, when they advertise. So imagine on a day they don't advertise, they'll get at least 5, 10 CVs. So as it is, it keeps building up. You think there's a shortage of skill and talent, unless of course you're a nuclear scientist with a skill that nobody has. And last if not the least, this is the magnum opus. If your gut feeling, always ask your gut feeling. And if your gut feeling leaves you with an uneasy thought or uneasy feeling, as they say, there's something wrong. The very fact that people approach me and say, "Look, what do you think? Is this real or fake?" That means your gut feeling is telling you this is fake. Because if it was real, you wouldn't be asking anyone. You'll be like, "Hey, is this fake or real?" That means it's fake. So it's common sense, man, 101. See, overall, let me tell you this. A company, when it's taking a new person, it's not a casual affair. It's not a process or decision they can take lightly. It has repercussions. It has issues. There are people who are held accountable for choosing the candidate. 99 out of 100 times, the people who are being selected, they are not exactly what they portray in the resume. People in the resume always brag that I'm so good. And they ask for a salary beyond their pay grade. Why? Because they want the best. And a company, on the other hand, wants to cut down its cost. Wants the best talent for the least amount of money. And they are aware of the fact that people brag and bullshit on their CV. So now the question is, given that they have such a large pool, why should they take you? If you cannot answer that question, and you still get a job offer that is a wow, or that is like, sheesh man, this is a great offer, that means there is something fishy. Anyway, I just wanted you to know, because there are plenty of scams and plenty of nonsense that is going on in the Middle East. There are a lot of unscrupulous people. So I hope that you don't get caught in this net. I'm aware that many people don't want to pay and get professional evaluation, professional advice. They just like to get free advice from people. So I thought, okay, make this video and answer the question. So anyway, I hope this answers your question. So how to spot a fake job or fake job offer in 2022. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you think I'm right or wrong. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free, type it down. I always read your comments. This is me signing off. You guys take care.